Welcome to the team. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here, and welcome to this comprehensive onboarding explainer. Look, I know starting a new role and getting a complex environment set up can feel a little daunting at first, but don't worry. We are going to break everything down, step by step. Today, we're guiding you through your brand new high-performance AI development setup. We're going to transform your local environment into a truly elite engineering suite using WoMono, the Z IDE, and our custom AI harness. By the end of this, you'll be fully powered up, perfectly compliant, and absolutely ready to code.
Okay, let's dive right in. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with your Access and Workspace Foundation, move on to installing core developer tools, configure the AI engineering suite, cover cloning project repositories, initialize the AI harness, and finish up with some critical knowledge base rules.
So Section 1, Access and Workspace Foundation. We're going to start with the simple administrative basics to get your foundation rock solid before we bring in the heavy machinery.
First things first, you'll need to sign in to our team collaboration platform using your GitHub account. Think of this as the central hub for all our coordination. Now, before you do any local setup at all, you absolutely must accept 4 specific repository invitations that were sent to your email. You need access to FRRD, Way of Work, Opticat, and WoMono. If you don't accept these right off the bat, you literally won't be able to pull the code later, so make sure your account is fully synced up first.
Next, let's physically prep your machine. Go ahead and open up Finder on a Mac or File Explorer on Windows, navigate to your Home or Documents directory, and just create a new folder named Projects. This folder is incredibly important. It's going to serve as your centralized, highly organized base camp for literally everything we do today. Every single repository will live right here. Section 2. Installing core developer tools. With our base camp established, it's time to forge the tools you'll be using every single day.
You're going to need to download the lightning-fast Z IDE from z.dev. We rely heavily on Z for its incredible performance. Following that, go ahead and install the LTS version of Node.js. Now, why Node? Well, because it's required to install our custom OpenCode command line assistant globally via NPM. OpenCode is the AI programming assistant that will be doing a huge chunk of the heavy lifting for you, so getting it installed globally is a strict prerequisite.
Got those installed? Perfect. Launch Z and pull your empty projects folder directly into the window. I know it looks a little empty right now, but that is exactly what we want. Fire up the integrated terminal. You can just use Control Backtick for that, and you are now perfectly positioned for the command line setup coming next.
Section 3, the AI engineering suite. Now for the really fun part. This is where your standard environment gets a serious supercharge with the WoMono ecosystem.
81. That is the magic number here. By installing our development stack, you are tapping into a shared intelligence backend that instantly grants your local agents 81 shared AI skills across our platforms. You aren't just getting some basic run-of-the-mill code completion tool, you're getting an entire library of battle-tested capabilities for debugging, testing, planning, and even code review.
And honestly, this is the really impressive part. A single initialization command configures all 7 of our primary AI coding assistants simultaneously. We're talking about heavy hitters like WooCode, OpenCode, Claude Code, and others, all properly configured in your home directory with those 81 shared skills we just talked about. It is a massive, game-changing upgrade to your workflow, executed in mere seconds.
So here is how we actually do it. Run these steps sequentially right there in Zed's terminal. Install the secure Dino runtime. Install the one-time AI harness CLI. And finally, run the overarching command to install your 7 new AI teammates. Boom, your machine is now fully armed.
Section 4. Cloning project repositories. With the agents ready and waiting, let's pull down the actual code. But please, pay close attention to this next part because it's a strict architectural mandate.
This is absolutely critical for our team's architecture. You must ensure each project, Way of Work, Opticat, and WoMono sits completely side by side directly inside that main projects folder. Never, under any circumstances, nest them inside one another or try to combine their files. The AI harness relies entirely on this specific side-by-side folder structure to navigate between codebases correctly.
To get those repositories into that side-by-side structure, you really have 2 choices. And this brilliantly illustrates why we highly recommend option A. By simply telling the OpenCode AI agent to clone all 3 URLs into separate folders, it automates the entire process for you. If you choose option B,
Well, you have to run multiple Git commands and deal with the whole manual hassle of generating GitHub personal access tokens for our private repos. Honestly, save yourself the headache. Just let the AI do the cloning for you.
Section 5, Initializing the AI Harness. Okay, the code is physically on your machine, so now we have to wire up the AI's brain and project memory for each specific repository. Now you might be wondering, why do we actually need to manually run the /init harness command inside every single one of those project folders? Like, why doesn't it just know what to do automatically?
Well, initializing the harness dynamically localizes our centralized knowledge base into a protected thoughts folder right inside each repo. More importantly, it creates the specific memory files the AI needs and registers all those installed skills, so the AI knows exactly what tools it has available for that specific codebase. And critically, it also adds the thoughts folder to your .gitignore file. That way, you don't accidentally commit your local AI memory back into the main application code. To actually make this happen, you'll simply launch the OpenCode CLI in each of the 3 project directories, one by one. Run the /init harness command, and when prompted by the terminal, just make sure you enter the correct project names and slugs, like WOW for Way of Work or OptiCat for OptiCat. It's a really quick process, but a totally mandatory one if you want your agents to function properly.
Section 6, Critical Knowledge Base Rules. Let's talk about the strict, non-negotiable governance of that centralized thoughts directory you just created. You see, that thoughts directory is actually a clone of our central fraud repository, and it syncs across all projects and all developers. Because of that, the absolute golden rule, the one thing you must internalize from this explainer today, is that the FRAD system is append-only. Being append-only means you literally never delete, never rename, and never alter existing files or directories in that folder. You only ever create new files or append new content to what's already there. Furthermore, you always need to remember that enforcement tickets located in this directory dictate absolute priority across the entire team. If an enforcement ticket exists, all other non-enforcement work pauses immediately until that ticket is resolved. No exceptions.
Because this knowledge base is totally shared, keeping everything running smoothly without Git conflicts requires a rock-solid personal workflow. Make this a habit right now. Always pull before you start editing any session and push your changes immediately after every single write. And hear me clearly on this. Never, ever force push to this directory.
When you do start creating branches for Kickits, your Git branch has to perfectly match our strict naming convention. It requires your project slug, your namespace, your ticket ID, and a short description. Following this visual template exactly is what ensures your work interact correctly with the tracking system, and it guarantees that AI agents can properly associate your code with the correct ticket.
And there you have it. Once you install the ZCLI to quickly open folders using the z.dot command, your comprehensive onboarding is officially complete. You are now armed with a compliant, high-performance, and elite AI engineering suite. The tools are yours, the knowledge base is synced, and the agents are waiting for your command. So the only question left is, are you ready to pull your first enforcement ticket and start building the future with us?